Archangel Michael waited for your reply. This is the third time he tried to reach you. Don't ignore this moment. For 3 divine cycles, the call has gone out, once in whispers, twice in warnings, and now, a final trumpet is sounding in the spirit. This message is not coincidence. This moment is not ordinary. Archangel Michael, the Prince of Heavenly Armies, has stepped forward once more, standing at the gates of your destiny, sword drawn, voice raised. He is not just watching. He is waiting. This is the third time he has tried to reach you, and in divine numerology, 3 is no accident. It is the number of completeness, finality, and decision. Heaven's patience has remained, but heaven's clock is moving. You felt the 90 days ago, that strange restlessness in your chest. That moment your phone glitched as you were about to reply to a message you knew was a trap. A dream that repeated itself 3 nights in a row. You thought it was your imagination, but it was a signal, an encoded dispatch from the realm, where angels walk and destinies are protected. And now, the atmosphere has shifted. There is no more room for delay. Michael is not simply reminding you, he is urging you. Because this moment, right here, has a spiritual expiration date. What you do in this hour will determine whether the next door opens wide or remains sealed for another season. You are being summoned, not just to listen, not just to observe, but to respond. There is a promise in waiting, but promises demand participation. When Archangel Michael reaches out, it means warfare has intensified. It means you've been targeted by shadows but chosen by light. The forces of opposition know something is near. That's why the interference has increased. That's why your thoughts have been cloudy, your emotions have been unpredictable, and your peace has felt fleeting. This is your third sign. This is your final tap on the shoulder before divine redirection becomes divine silence. And silence from heaven is not absence. It is permission for you to stay where you are, unshifted, unelevated. But that is not your portion. That is not your ending. That is not what heaven designed for you when it assigned Michael to your name. You were born with a stamp of authority. You carry an energy that disturbs darkness, even when you're unaware of it. That's why your presence alone is a threat. And that's why heaven keeps reaching out, to remind you who you are, and to call you back to alignment before the hour passes. So hear this clearly. Archangel Michael waited for your reply. This is the third time he tried to reach you. Don't ignore this moment. The final bell is ringing, not in fear but in favor. What stands on the other side of your obedience is restoration, revelation, and reversal. But you must move. You must say yes. You must answer the call now, not later. Because heaven has waited long enough. Type "I am ready" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 333 is now surrounding you. Archangel Michael is not knocking softly anymore. He is now thundering across the threshold of your awareness. Heaven has spoken thrice, and with each attempt, the urgency has increased. Now, a divine countdown has begun in the atmosphere. Something is being held back, not because you're not worthy, but because your silence is delaying the release. Michael has been assigned to this moment. He stands as the guardian of timing, the protector of thresholds, and the sword-bearer of those chosen to walk through divine portals. He speaks not in riddles, but in resonant truth. This is the final attempt before redirection. Heaven's realm does not operate on chance. Everything is patterned. Everything is precise. And this third call, this third visitation, represents the culmination of mercy extended and opportunity offered. 3 times, heaven called your name. 3 times, your spirit stirred, but your hands hesitated. And now, the call comes through Michael himself, the one who wars for those too weary to fight, the one who blocks what was sent to bind you, the one who remembers every promise made over your life, even when you forget. He is not asking for your attention. He is commanding it. You are not here by mistake. You are drawn here, summoned here, guided here, because your spirit is being reawakened. You are being asked to remember the signs you saw but dismissed, the numbers that repeated, the moments you sensed something divine but stayed silent. Archangel Michael did not visit casually. He arrives when there's war around a promise, and your promise is under siege. But you are not defenseless. You are not alone. You are not behind. You are being reactivated. There is no more time to pretend this is normal. The miscommunications you've experienced lately, the sudden emotional weight, the unexpected delays and strange disruptions, they are not coincidences. They are the enemy's attempts to intercept the divine message Michael hath been delivering. That's why the interference has felt so real. But the very fact that you're hearing this now means heaven broke through. This message is your proof that you have not been abandoned, that the third time was not a dismissal, it was divine persistence. Michael says this clearly. You still have time, but not much. You still have choice, but not forever. You still have favor, but it is waiting on your response. This is not about punishment, it's about preparation. This is not about fear, it's about freedom. You were marked by light. You were built for this moment. And now, that moment is waiting on you. Heaven does not force. It invites. It warns. It reaches. And now, it watches. The next 24 hours are not casual. In this window, there will be a test. It may come through a person. It may come through a distraction. It may come through an opportunity that feels off. But it will come, and how you respond will echo into the coming weeks. Archangel Michael is here to warn you, yes, but more than that, he is here to equip you. His sword is drawn, his wings are expanded, and his shield is ready. He is prepared to fight, but only if you give your yes. So speak it. Declare it. Let heaven hear you, because your answer activates the shift. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Thank you for standing with us. Type Amen to receive angelic blessing 777. This is a divine activation moment. There is a conversation happening about you, but not with you. Someone is whispering your name into shadows, trying to rewrite your story with their fears, their assumptions, their envy. They've seen your light. They've sensed your elevation. But instead of blessing it, they've been resisting it. They thought they understood who you were, but they only knew a fraction of your truth. A glimpse of your glow, a flicker of your calling. What they did expect, what they never imagined, is that heaven itself would fight for you, that Archangel Michael would take your silence and turn it into a supernatural weapon. You see, there are people who have been close to your life but far from your spirit. They smiled, but their souls were unsettled every time your name was mentioned in grace. Every time a door opened for you, they smiled at your face and frowned in their hearts. And now, those frowns have turned to speech. Backdoor meetings, subtle sabotage, unspoken envy wrapped in fake concern. And while you've been quiet, perhaps by choice, perhaps by exhaustion, they've mistaken your quiet for weakness. But Archangel Michael has heard every word, and the spiritual realm records what is said in secret just as much as what is shouted in the open. There is no manipulation heaven does not hear. There is no slander that escapes the ears of angels. And what's more, there is no lie that can stand when heaven decides to reveal the truth. The enemy thought he could hide behind confusion. He thought he could plant doubt in your mind, using the voices of those you trusted. But heaven is about to expose what's been lurking, and you won't need to seek revenge. Divine justice has already been initiated. Michael comes not just to defend, but to confirm. You are not crazy. The uneasiness in your gut, it was real. The shift in someone's tone that made you step back, real. The moment you walked into a room and felt the atmosphere tense, real. Because spirits recognize spirits, and those who carry hidden agendas cannot breathe easy when someone chosen walks in. They feel convicted by your presence alone. They try to justify their discomfort by turning you into the problem. But you were never the problem. You were the mirror. You revealed what they didn't want to face. Someone is watching you right now. Not with love, not with loyalty, but with a question. How are they still standing? They don't understand how you haven't collapsed yet. They've underestimated your capacity, your resilience, your favor. But what they've really underestimated is your covering. You are not unprotected. You are not unseen. You are not unheard. Heaven has taken note, and Michael has drawn his sword. Every time you chose not to respond in anger, heaven documented your restraint as righteousness. Every time you wanted to clap back but kept your peace, heaven labeled it as maturity. And now, heaven is about to speak for you in ways your voice never could. This emotional tension, this strange heaviness you've been feeling, is not imagined. It is spiritual interference caused by the attempt to rewrite your story behind your back. But remember this. Your story is sealed by God's signature. No human opinion can override divine authorship. They've seen a piece of your past, but not the prophecy over your future. They've caught a glimpse of your potential, but not the price you paid. They think they know you, but they only know the chapter they were present for. Michael is here to remind you, you are not the version of you they remember. You've evolved. You've endured. You expanded. And now, they are confused because they can't predict you anymore. And when they can't predict you, they try to control the narrative. But heaven is reclaiming the narrative now. The next few days will reveal what's been hidden. Unexpected truths will surface. Conversations will come back around. And when they do, do not panic. Do not retaliate. Michael says, stand still. I am your witness, your warrior, your vindication. You are not alone in this tension. You are being preserved in the pressure. Your composure is your covering, and your stillness is louder than their schemes. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. This is not personal. It is spiritual. What you're feeling, what you're facing, what's trying to shake your confidence, it's not just about people. It's about purpose. Archangel Michael wants you to see through it. He wants you to rise above the surface tension and recognize the unseen war waging beneath it. This conflict isn't rooted in personalities. It's rooted in the prophetic. You carry something on your life that stirs up resistance not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're finally doing something right. The spiritual atmosphere reacts when you begin stepping into divine timing. When Archangel Michael moves, he doesn't waste time fighting flesh. He goes after the spiritual systems trying to block your inheritance. He stands between you and the darkness that fears your elevation. That's what this has always been about, not rejection, but redirection. Not loss, but pruning. You've been wondering why certain connections fell apart, why doors slammed in your face, why people you once leaned on grew distant without explanation. It's not you. It's the warfare that your anointing provoked. You didn't fail them. They failed to withstand the fire of your transformation. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Every false friend that walked away, every opportunity that vanished, every plan that suddenly changed was not a curse. It was protection. The spiritual realm saw what you couldn't. It saw what they said about you when you weren't in the room. It saw the intentions buried beneath their smiles. It saw the jealousy masked as concern. And Michael, mighty, unwavering, unafraid, was dispatched to separate you from anything that would poison your purpose. That's why it hurt. That's why it confused you. Because you were interpreting spiritual surgery as emotional abandonment. But heaven wants you to shift your lens now. This isn't about who left. It's about who stayed. This isn't about what broke. It's about what's being built. Michael is calling you to stand up, not just in confidence, but in understanding. You are chosen. You are marked. You are under divine assignment. And with that comes friction. With that comes resistance. Not because you are failing, but because you are rising. Shadows only respond to what threatens them. And your light is threatening every dark strategy sent to delay you. So let this be your shift. The betrayal was not about rejection. It was about elevation. The heartbreak was not about failure. It was about cleansing. The confusion wasn't chaos. It was calibration. Heaven had been organizing your surroundings to match your next level. And sometimes, the only way to bring peace to your spirit is to remove the noise from your atmosphere. That's why this season has felt silent, still, isolated, because you've been in spiritual surgery. And Archangel Michael has been your protector in the process. He wants you to remember who you are, not according to your past, not according to their opinions, but according to your divine blueprint. You are not the broken version of yourself that circumstances tried to carve. You are not the limited version that fear tried to brand you as. You are not who the enemy says you are. You are who heaven has declared you to be. And heaven's word over you will not return void. It cannot be canceled by slander. It cannot be blocked by bitterness. It cannot be delayed by distraction. It is sealed in spirit. Sealed by fire. Sealed by Michael's watch. So breathe deeper now. Wavtalu. Think clear. You are not under attack. You are under assignment. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. And the more pressure you feel, the closer your breakthrough has come. Let your tears become your prayers. Let your silence become your declaration. Let your stillness become your warfare. Because what stands behind this conflict is your coronation. Michael stands guard, not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous to darkness. You are a threat to every lie ever spoken over your bloodline. You are the one they didn't see coming, but heaven always did. Type I am under divine assignment if you feel this truth. Blessing code 4411 is now being released into your atmosphere. Something is moving. Something is about to shift. In the unseen realm, decisions are being made. Motions are being set into place. Words are being prepared. Words not spoken in love, but in distortion. The enemy knows his time is short. That's why the pressure has increased. That's why your sleep has been interrupted, your mood unsettled, your thoughts clouded. Archangel Michael is not only watching this unfold, He's warning you before it arrives. Here is an attempt brewing to confront your peace, to provoke your reaction, to destabilize your focus. But hear this. You are not to be shaken. You are to be aware, armored, and anchored. In the next 72 hours, someone may reach out, not with pure intentions, but with confusion disguised as curiosity. A message may arrive that feels harmless, but behind it is a hook designed to reopen wounds. There may be a conversation brought to you that's laced in misinformation, just enough to tempt you to defend yourself. But Michael is saying this clearly. You do not owe anyone an explanation in this hour. You owe heaven your obedience. This is not the time to argue your truth. This is the time to stand in it. The enemy's next tactic is subtle. It will not scream, but it will sting. He knows he cannot block your calling, so he'll attempt to corrupt your clarity. He will use familiar voices to distract you. People you once loved. People you once leaned on. He will dress the attack in nostalgia, in familiarity, in false peace. But the peace that comes from compromise is not real. And the voice that speaks half-truths is still lying. Do not open the door to conversations you've already healed from. Do not answer calls from chapters heaven has already closed. This next phase of warfare isn't about external chaos. It's about internal stability. The enemy wants your mind. He wants you second-guessing what you've already discerned. He wants you chasing closure where heaven has already given release. He wants you distracted, doubting, and delayed. But you must remain rooted. You must remain still. You must remain obedient to the instruction of heaven, not the interruption of man. Michael is circling your name, not in fear, but in defense. Because the threat isn't stronger, it's just louder. And heaven is silencing what needs to be silenced. And yet, here is the deeper warning. What you say next will echo longer than what they say about you. Your response will either be your reinforcement or your unraveling. You have the power to choose silence and preserve your elevation, or speak prematurely and descend into distraction. You are standing at a precipice, a moment that may look small in the natural, but is massive in the spiritual. What you allow into your spirit now can either anchor your breakthrough or assassinate it. Michael is not here to scare you. He is here to shield you. But even he needs your cooperation. Pay attention. A text you'll receive. At random social media post. That phone call from someone who just wanted to check in. Not everything is coincidence. Some things are calculated distractions. Some things are specifically designed to test whether you'll stay on the path or be pulled back into cycles you've already escaped. You are not that version of you anymore. You've grown too much. Seen too much. Fought too hard. Do not return to Egypt when God is calling you into the promised land. Michael's voice cuts through the fog now. In the next 72 hours, remain quiet. Remain covered. Remain unmoved. Your power is in your pause. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Let them assume. But do not give the enemy the satisfaction of watching you lose your focus. The confrontation is coming. But so is the covering. What they plan to disrupt, heaven has already scheduled for redirection. And your silence will become your sword. Your stillness will become your strength. If this message has been your confirmation, consider showing your support with a super thanks offering, $20, or any amount placed on your heart. Your help allows us to keep creating these divine revelations, reaching more souls who need a timely word. We are grateful. Type "I choose stillness" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1212 is aligning your next move with divine timing. Now is the time to guard your gates, your eyes, your ears, your heart. Now is the moment to sit in stillness, not because you are doing nothing, but because you are doing the most powerful thing of all, listening. Archangel Michael stands ready, but you must allow heaven to fight where you once reacted. You must stay low in spirit so the covering can rise high around you. You must resist the urge to explain yourself, to clarify your position, to correct false narratives. Let the lies unravel on their own. Let the truth rise in its own timing. Let heaven speak for you louder than you ever could. You've been through enough spiritual warfare to know this. When pressure increases, protection intensifies. What feels like silence is actually strategy. What feels like loneliness is actually insulation. You are not being isolated to suffer. You are being insulated to survive. The voice of Archangel Michael is not echoing in your life just to warn. It is also wrapping around you with divine presence. He is telling you, let your silence become your sanctuary. Let your peace become your protest. Let your stillness become your sword. You do not need to react. You do not need to post. You do not need to vent. You need only to rest in the authority of heaven. There are assignments against your mind right now. Thoughts planted subtly to make you believe you're behind, unprotected, unseen. But these are lies woven into your atmosphere by forces that know how powerful you've become. They want to shake your foundation. But hear this, heaven is firm beneath your feet. You are planted, not just placed. You are positioned, not paused. Archangel Michael surrounds you with layers of spiritual defense, and your greatest act of warfare is to remain in alignment with that protection. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you strike a blow to the enemy's strategy. Every time you choose to stay grounded rather than lash out, you shift timelines in your favor. Let your next move be no move at all, except toward peace, toward prayer, toward presence. Stillness is not passivity, it is prophecy in motion. When you stop trying to fix what only God can fix, you allow the heavens to act on your behalf. And what heaven does cannot be reversed by human hands. You are under watch. You are under grace. You are under divine monitoring. Nothing that concerns you has escaped divine awareness. You have no idea how many ambushes heaven has already blocked. How many accusations never made it to your ears. How many traps collapsed before you ever stepped toward them. And now, you are being instructed to protect your peace with holy fierceness, to treat your energy like sacred oil, to recognize that your voice is powerful, so don't waste it on unnecessary battles. Michael is saying, withdraw to recharge, retreat to realign, refuse to entertain what is beneath your assignment. This is the divine strategy of the protected. You've walked through too much to forfeit it for a moment of emotional reaction. You are not fragile. You are not exposed. You are fiercely protected by a kingdom that never sleeps. So breathe in this truth. Your silence is not weakness. It is weaponized grace. Your composure is not avoidance. It is clarity. The more they try to drag your name, the more heaven elevates it. The more they poke for reaction, the more heaven rewrites your reputation. You don't have to chase justice. It's already on the way. The sword of Michael is not drawn for decoration, it's drawn for execution. And heaven will not miss its target. So stay in the posture of peace. Keep your spirit light. Keep your words few. Keep your worship loud. They will wonder why you didn't respond. They will wonder why their provocation didn't rattle you. They will wonder why their gossip didn't pull you out of character. And it's because you're no longer operating at the level of flesh. You're walking in spirit. You're living in alignment. You are guarded, not just by faith, but by fire. Michael walks with you. His wings stretch over your timeline. His sword pierces every lie, and his assignment will not fail. Type "I am" covered in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 5555 is sealing your spirit in divine peace and protection. You are not who they remember. You are not who you were last year, last month, or even last week. You shifted. You stretched. You shed versions of yourself that were wrapped in survival, in fear, in silence. And now, even as the dust settles from battle, you are standing taller, not just in posture, but in presence. Archangel Michael doesn't stand beside ordinary beings. He is sent to guard the anointed, the appointed, the awakened. And that includes you. The shaking you felt was not to break you, it was to break open your next dimension. They tried to box you into who you used to be, but heaven shattered the mold. They labeled you based on a snapshot, but God authored your entire story. What they didn't realize is that while they were gossiping, heaven was grooming you. While they were mocking your silence, heaven was molding your strength. While they were gathering in corners, plotting in whispers, thinking they had you figured out, you were ascending. Widely, consistently, divinely. And now, the version of you they tried to erase is the very version that heaven is about to reveal. You are no longer explainable. You are evidence. There is a shift in your energy now, a divine elevation. You are operating at a frequency that doesn't require validation. You're no longer seeking to be understood. You're walking in understanding. You're no longer reacting to chaos. You're commanding order. You're no longer asking for doors. You're building rooms. Archangel Michael wants you to know, they can't touch what I've sealed. They can't delay what I've cleared. They can't block what I've blessed. And you, beloved, are blessed beyond their comprehension. They will try to re-engage, not because they love you, but because they now sense the oil you carry. They feel the shift. They recognize your glow, even if they can't admit it. Be discerning. Some will come back with compliments dressed as apologies. Others will show up with new intentions but old spirits. Not everyone who returns deserves a seat. Your table has been prepared by God, not to be shared with familiar betrayal, but with sacred alignment. Don't diminish your growth to fit people who chose to stay behind when you decided to evolve. From this moment forward, walk like the light that disturbs darkness. Speak with the authority that unsettles comfort zones. Move with the boldness of one who knows they are being watched by heaven. You're not walking alone. You're walking with fire. You're walking with Michael. And that makes you a force. A divine storm. A disruption to every system that thought it could keep you small. This isn't arrogance. This is awareness. You finally understand your assignment. You finally see yourself through heaven's lens. And if there's any doubt left, if any part of you still questions your readiness, hear this. You don't need permission to rise. You already carry the approval of the Most High. You are not waiting for someone to anoint you with words of affirmation. Your oil is already active. Your purpose is already confirmed. Your timing is already aligned. You are the chosen. You are the breakthrough. You are the shift. So rise. Fully. Boldly. Publicly. Let the world see what heaven never stopped building in you. Let them witness the power of quiet obedience. Let them see what happens when someone refuses to bend to darkness and chooses instead to burn with holy light. This is your coronation. This is your announcement. This is your reminder that heaven has the final word, and that word is elevated. If this message has poured into you, consider supporting this divine work through a super chat or super sticker. Your gift of $5 or any amount fuels more revelation, more breakthrough, and more spiritual impact. We are deeply grateful for every soul who helps carry this light forward. Type "I rise in power" in the comments if this resonates with your spirit. Blessing code 888 is being released now to open your next level. And now, after the silence a sound, after the stillness a movement, after the warfare the reward. This is the turning point. This is the divine release. Archangel Michael has not just shielded you, he has positioned you. He has stood watch as the refining did its work, and now he is sounding the shift. The pain was never permanent. The pressure was never punishment. The pruning was never the end. It was all preparation. And now, the season is opening. The veil is thinning. The weight is lifting. What was held back is beginning to flow. What was hidden is about to be revealed. And what you thought you lost, heaven is about to multiply. This is the prophetic resolution. Not a pause, not a delay, but the manifestation of all that's been whispered to your spirit in the midnight hours. That promise you tucked away, afraid to hope for again. Bring it back. That vision you shelved because the path looked impossible. Dusty off. That prayer you prayed with trembling lips and tired faith. It has been heard. The answer has been dispatched. And Michael has been clearing the path, breaking spiritual blockades, dismantling generational delays, and standing as the final line of defense between you and collapse. But collapse never came, because covenant held strong. The transformation is not only internal, it's atmospheric. Watch what shifts around you in the coming days. The conversations will change. The atmosphere will soften. Unexpected opportunities will knock. People you never expected will bring confirmation. And what once felt like warfare will begin to feel like weightlessness. That's not coincidence, that's completion. What began as a warning has now become a window into favor, into freedom, into fulfillment. You've passed the test not by striving but by staying, not by performing but by trusting, not by fighting everyone, but by allowing heaven to fight for you. Michael is no longer just standing watch. He is ushering you into the next realm, a place where you no longer beg for peace, but embody it. A place where your presence commands the atmosphere without a word. A place where your steps are ordered and your spirit is light. This is not hype. This is not fantasy. This is the spiritual shift that occurs when obedience meets divine timing. This is the reward of faithfulness in hidden places, the elevation of one who refused to fold under pressure. Here will be signs. Watch for them. The right person calling at the right time. A door opening without you knocking. An apology that comes without prompting. A sudden urge to revisit something you once buried. These are not random. They are signatures of heaven, evidence that you've stepped into fulfillment. And with each sign, let your spirit rise higher in gratitude. For what has begun cannot be undone. What hath been activated cannot be reversed. What hath been sealed cannot be shaken. You are no longer waiting. You are walking. Walking into rooms designed for your anointing. Walking into relationships that don't drain but deepen you. Walking into assignments that align with your soul. Walking into a version of yourself you once only saw in glimpses. Archangel Michael didn't just protect you from the storm. He carried you through it. And now he stands back, as heaven places a crown on your spirit and whispers, "Well done." This was never just about you. It was about everyone tied to your obedience. Because your breakthrough breaks chains for others. Your rising clears the air for generations. Your decision to stay aligned has created a ripple that heaven will echo for decades. And all of it, every battle, every silence, every moment of near surrender, was leading here. You didn't miss your moment. You didn't fumble your future. You are exactly where heaven knew you would be. Ready. Chosen. Elevated. Type I receive this shift in the comments if this is your confirmation. Blessing code 1010 has been released over your atmosphere. Walk through the divine door now. The moment is now. Not next week. Not when you feel more prepared. Not when you have all the answers. Now. Heaven is not waiting for perfection. It's waiting for participation. The spirit of Archangel Michael is still hovering, still pressing, still urging, because this window will not remain open forever. Divine doors do not swing endlessly. They respond to readiness, to faith, to action. You heard the call. You felt the stirring. You've received the revelation. Now, you must respond. Spirit to spirit. Destiny to instruction. Promise to obedience. This isn't about a grand gesture, it's about a surrendered heart. Heaven is not asking you to perform. It's inviting you to align. To type the words that match the posture of your soul. To say yes out loud so the atmosphere hears it. To release what you've held on to, and step forward with a new fire. The enemy has tried 3 times to distract you. Heaven has reached out 3 times to rescue you. This is the 3rd call, a number of divine completion, a number that signals the end of delay and the beginning of destiny. This is not about feelings anymore. This is about faith. Archangel Michael has not visited you by accident. His voice has not echoed through your timeline just for comfort. It has come for confirmation. You are not imagining your calling. You are not fabricating your elevation. The visions you've been seeing, the words you've been drawn to, the synchronicities that have been too exact to ignore, they've all been clues. Clues that heaven has been waiting for your yes. And your yes doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be public. But it does have to be real. It has to be intentional. It has to be activated. So here it is. Respond. Type your agreement. Declare your obedience. Put your name into the atmosphere so that the shift can locate you. Say, I accept. Say, I receive. Say, I'm ready. The power is in your response. Not because heaven needs validation, but because your activation changes your alignment. When you move, the heavens move. When you say yes, the angels war harder. When you agree with what God already said about you, you step into divine flow. That's when doors open. That's when blockages clear. That's when favor finds you. Do not underestimate this moment. You didn't land here by scrolling. You were drawn here. You were summoned here. You were divinely guided into this conversation because your spirit was ready to receive what your mind hadn't yet understood. And now that you know, now that you've heard Michael's voice and felt its weight, you can't go back to sleep. You can't pretend you didn't feel the shift. You can't unsee the signs. You are accountable for the truth now. But that accountability is not heavy. It's holy. It's not pressure. It's privilege. This is your call to rise, to write the next chapter of your life in obedience, in power, in identity. This is your instruction to pray like it's already done, to walk like you're already free, to speak like the breakthrough has already broken through. Don't wait for someone to confirm what you already know. Heaven has confirmed it. Michael has delivered it. And now respond to it. Move with it. Build from it. Live inside it. Because once you respond, the ripple begins. And what starts as a small yes becomes a flood of favor. If this message has sparked something in you, if it has poured life into your spirit, and you feel led to support this divine work, consider contributing through super thanks, super chat, super stickers, or memberships. Whether it's $5, $10, or $50, your giving helps spread this light further and louder. Your generosity is sacred. It fuels the message. It partners with heaven. And we are deeply thankful. Type ISAYYES to heaven in the comments if this message has confirmed your season. Blessing code 1717 is being sealed into your atmosphere right now. The gates are open. Step in. You are not a victim. You are the revelation. You are not the wounded. You are the warrior. You are not forgotten. You are fiercely favored. The enemy tried to convince you that you were invisible, that you were expendable, that your voice didn't matter. But heaven saw you the entire time. Through the silence, through the grief, through the rejection, through the waiting, through the battles you never spoke of, through the nights you cried quietly so no one would hear. You were never abandoned. You were being built. And now, the construction is complete. You are stepping out, not as who you were, but as who you were always meant to be. Archangel Michael did not come to remind you of your weakness. He came to reveal your strength, to affirm your becoming, to lift the veil and let you see yourself through the eyes of eternity. He came to interrupt your routine with revelation, to break your anxiety with affirmation, to silence every lie with the roar of truth. And the truth is simple, powerful, eternal. You are chosen. You are protected. You are ready. Your name hath been written in fire upon the scrolls of heaven. Your path has been cleared by the blade of angels. Your future has been infused with divine energy, and your presence in this moment is proof that the darkness did not win. Let them whisper. Let them wonder. Let them wander in the shadows of their own assumptions. You rise. You rise with wisdom. You rise with discernment. You rise with oil. They don't know what you endured. They don't know how many times you wanted to quit. They don't know how many spiritual battles you've walked through just to keep your mind intact. But Michael knows. Heaven knows. God knows. And that's all that matters now. Your audience is not the crown. It's the cloud. The cloud of witnesses watching as you walk into fullness, finally unashamed of your fire. This is your new identity, unshaken, unbothered, unbreakable. Let these words become your foundation. Let them echo in your spirit when doubt tries to return. Let them speak louder than any past failure, any betrayal, any delay. Because the truth is, you were never losing. You were being launched. You weren't forgotten. You were being forged. You weren't overlooked. You were being overshadowed by glory, hidden until the time was right. And now, the right time is now. The door is open. A shift has come. And the stage is yours, not for performance, but for purpose. Don't go backward. Don't replay the pain. Don't overanalyze what already ended. Move forward with fierce clarity. You carry wisdom now. You carry weight now. You carry authority now. Your voice can dismantle curses. Your presence can clear atmospheres. Your obedience can shift generations. That is how powerful you are. That is how deeply anointed you've become. And the world needs what's inside you, desperately. No more drinking. No more explaining. No more second guessing. Walk like you're light. Speak like you're chosen. Stand like you are sealed. And always remember this. They tried to bury you, but they forgot. You're a seed. You grew in the dark. You stretched through the silence. You broke open in the soil of pressure. And now, you bloom in the brilliance of purpose. No one saw it coming. But heaven did. Michael did. And now, the earth will. Because you're done hiding. You're done doubting. You are done waiting for permission. You are stepping into power. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what has already been written by the hand of God. You are not late. You are not early. You are right on divine time. Everything is aligned. Everything is clicking into place. Everything that was once blocked is being broken open. And as you walk forward, you walk with an army. Archangel Michael leads it. Heaven surrounds it. Grace empowers it. And glory confirms it. Type "I am the revelation" in the comments if this message has anchored you in truth. Blessing Code 2020 is now sealing clarity, elevation, and divine vision over your entire life.